Move over Lamine Yamal, move over Romelu Lukaku. There is a new history maker in European football. At 16 years and 197 days old, Michael Noonan fired himself into the record books last night with his winning goal over in Molde for Shamrock Rovers, making him the youngest ever scorer in a group stage or knockout game. That goal means that Shamrock Rovers take a priceless 1-0 lead into the second leg of their Europa Conference League playoff tie, which will take place next Thursday night. But for now, we will reflect on last night's heroics with Dan McDonnell, who was over in Norway. I think you're one flight down out of three on the way home, Dan. But what a night for Shamrock Rovers, and what a night for Michael Noonan.
Yeah, I mean, I think sometimes like you reach for a story, I sort of, so there was a few whispers this week that he was going to start. And I wasn't 100% sure, but it was pretty 95% sure. And so in the pre-match conference, there was probably a concerted plan to ask questions about Michael Noonan. So like our back page on the day of the game would have been Stephen Bradley saying he's ready to play. And like, there's always that niggling sense of, God, he's only a kid here. What if he flounders? What if he's been thrown in at the deep end too quickly? In fact, coming up I was like walking to the stadium because it's such a small place, as we sort of discussed briefly yesterday. Just getting texts from people involved in football going, "Whoa, like this is young. It's not as if like this is his first professional start. But it's not like maybe he's been around, come off the bench in sort of 4 or 5 games and sort of been introduced to it that way. 1 minute of league football last year at Pats. You're thinking, yeah, this could go both ways. But, I mean, he was the story. I mean, there's a huge win that the Shamrock Rovers have secured here, and that, of course, deserves due recognition. And there's a lot of other great storylines within it. But you just can't get away from the fact that this is this is a kid from Ireland who's back in school this morning, on Friday morning, becoming, yeah, as you said, like the youngest ever scorer in this sort of the modern version of the UEFA club competitions. And it wasn't just that he scored, it was the fact that like he scored a goal which probably came from Rovers being in top in a game that swung on Molde being reduced to 10 men, and he was the cause of that as well. So I mean, if you like, his footprint is all over the key moments in the game, and for someone at his age to be doing that, yeah, it's kind of surreal territory. And like you see, and it's true. I mean, like it's one of those stats that has, like you see, it's sort of made headlines all over the world because it's a record. And yeah, it's a transition year student in Rathangan.
Yeah, and his mother, as you mentioned, tweeted a great photo of him walking out the door with a school bag, not even the morning off a few classes after his heroics last night. Dan, there was reports before Christmas of maybe a move to Man City. Like, that'll probably only intensify after a performance, as you said, that's kind of gone worldwide. Like, will we be having another almost €2 million boy like Mason Melia in the near future?
Yeah, I mean, it's there's no doubt. I mean, I would have spoken to people involved with the club over here, and when he's playing, even you're like, this could do something for the this could do something for the value. I mean, look what it's done. I mean, the thing is, like, it's quite contentious that he left St Patrick's Athletic. He wouldn't sign professional terms there. He has signed them with Shamrock Rovers now. His deal isn't as long as the Mason Melia one. And I know we spoke about Mason Melia. Like, sometimes these fees can be calculated by your contract length and so on. And while Mason Melia turns 18 he's an autumn birthday, it's kind of significant that Noonan is a summer one. So it sort of means that in the summer of next year, he can go to England. And as a result, look, that might impact on that. But equally, if he's doing things in European competition, people might want to move quickly to tie him down now. There's no release clause. Some people maybe speculate that might be the case. There's no release clause. There's no agreement to sort of let him go. He could, in theory, let his contract run down till the end of next year. And there'd be a compensation figure. But I'd imagine, yeah, it will be next summer. But it is true, like Man City, he's been over there sort of as much as you can be over. There's limits to how much you can go over as a kid, but that's where he's been. But I think everyone's aware of him. I suppose the interesting thing now is, like, will some European clubs still try and maybe come in again with a tempting offer? It does seem like he wants to stay in the path of staying at home till he's 18, but he could still go somewhere in Europe. And I mean, he's making headlines around Europe. They would have known about him already from his Ireland underage goals, but still, people might think you need to move now to try and get him. So yeah, I'd imagine they're going to have a lot more inquiries, even though they have become used to a lot of inquiries already, I think, about them in the last 18 months or so.
Yeah, well, it'll be fascinating to watch what happens with him over the medium term, and hopefully he at least gets no homework on a Friday, given what he did last night. Dan, just to tie things up on Shamrock Rovers, and we discussed in our preview yesterday about how the European run, while great for the club, might impact their league campaign. They obviously play Bohemians in a Dublin derby in the Aviva Stadium on Sunday, and now have a real live chance to progress even further. It'll be a very interesting balancing act over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, like I'm not sure if I want to review my predictions now or not. I mean, look, I mean, there's no doubt. I mean, it was an amazing result last night. Like it did help. There's absolutely no doubt it helped that they were playing a team that was also in pre-season. With their first game with the new manager. Like that definitely ended up being a great draw, really. And they still have a job to do to finish it off. I have to say, like the euphoria, like it can last for so long, but I mean, they picked up 2 suspensions for next week. Dylan Watts and Dan Cleary. The second one was needless. Watts has been brilliant. I mean, of course, we talk about Noonan, but the pass for the first goal was a Watts pass. The pressing and the pass for the second goal was a Watts pass. He's been outstanding in Europe, so he's not playing in the second leg. So it's not a given that they're going to go through this tie. But I would say that you look through the spine of the team last night. A new goalkeeper, Ed McGinty. Matt Healy in midfield. Danny Mandroyo looking very sharp again. You do look at it and go, yeah, if they can just add, I'm still saying add a striker, even though like we have Noonan, because I think in fairness, Bradley has said they can't rely on him for a season at his age. You're going to have to take him in, take him out. If they could get a bit of support there, it is a reminder that these are a pretty good team. And what I found watching them last night is, I've covered a lot of their away games in the last couple of years. It's just they're so used to this level now. A real maturity, and I think Stephen Bradley was very strong afterwards about how badly they started the season last year, how they almost can't forgive themselves for how badly they started last year, and they can't allow it to happen again. And I think possibly, a lot of other clubs last night would have looked at it and thought, yeah, these guys aren't going away. But as we said, if they go on to the next round, like it still can become a distraction, and that could catch up with you in time. I mean, that is still a valid talking point. But you do look at them and remember, yeah, this is a pretty accomplished team in a League of Ireland context, an accomplished management team who've delivered big results. So, they haven't gone away.
Well, Dan, I know you have a flight to catch, so we'll let you go. And you're actually going to be at Talca Park later doing a video for us too. So, nothing says modern media than joining us from Norway in the morning and Talca Park in the evening. So, best of luck.
Thank you, Will. See ya.